Hello guys, this is Nikki. You're watching Friday, June 5, 2020. It's a happy weekend for everyone for the Philippine market. If this is your first time, please don't hesitate to subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily Philippine market updates. We also do global market updates, and we like to invite you to watch our shows every single day of the week. So let's discuss. The Philippines is 6,465, down 50 points. But this is actually a very, very strong week for the market. Market valuation today, 9 billion pesos, 118 advancers. You still got foreign value buying the market with a net foreign buy of 473 million pesos. This week was very strong. Let's take a look in your Investogram's charts. Let's go to the summary, market summary. We've got a ton of news to share as well as some very, very big moves for our market. So as you could see, most of the indices are in the green. Where's that foreign buying? Where can I see that? Market status. Either way, okay, sige. Let's go discuss. Sige, okay naman. So today, the most active trades is GTCAP. So GTCAP and all home. Home ratchets up a 23% increase with about 360 value traded. You also got Macro Asia up 16%, closing at 595, value traded of 117 million pesos. Let's discuss these two names and let's discuss GTCAP continuing 8% higher, 852 million pesos, with your financials continuing their winning streak with a very big volume and value traded. So let's see the biggest moves, no? So start with GTCAP and Home. So Home disclosed a very good earnings report. June 5, 2020, new stores boost all home income. All Home is a one-stop shop for your home. Let's read. Earnings of All Home surged 30% in the first quarter, recording higher sales from its opening new stores last year. Net income of 270 million, higher than the 207 million it recorded last year. Sales jumped 41% to 3.37 billion pesos, despite having to close the stores in Luzon when the government imposed a lockdown in the March 15 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In its regulatory filing, the company opened 22 additional stores, existing 23 stores as of March 2019, posted a 24% sales growth in 2020. The growth for the first quarter was driven by the additional contribution from the new store openings from the last quarter of 2019, All Home Chairman Manny Villar said in a statement. We are very pleased with our performance despite the occurrence of unforeseeable circumstances as the eruption of Taal volcano and due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In light of the recent situation, the company is evaluating its expansion program. Right now, they've grown from 23 to 45. They still view 2020 with optimism as the lockdown condition eases out. Their plan is to have 70 stores by the end of 2020. And they would like to highlight that if the situation improves, they believe they can fast-track construction and fit out and subsequently open new stores. They're saying that the Vice Chairman Camille Villar is saying that the opportunity to recreate personal spaces by prioritizing comfort, refurbishing, and renovating their homes is being spent right now while everyone is inside the house. Shares in All Home ended 567 each on Thursday. Today, Friday, it's trading at 7 pesos. So let's go through the charts. There was really a surprise in terms of the earnings of All Home because it is exactly exhibiting what a growth stock is doing. Now, market cap after today's move is 23%, 26 billion pesos. Take note that very few companies in the Philippines reported top line growing 40%. Actually, only RHI grew their net income 45%. So this belongs in your COVID-proof companies. And so not a lot of people actually thought that Home is a COVID-proof company. As you could see, from 450 prior to the earnings report yesterday, it was trading just about a few percentage of the lows. the earnings was actually a validation that, hey, this is a COVID-proof company. So prior to the earnings, it was just up 37% from that 4,000 PSEI low. Now, after the earnings, it closed 80% up, trading as high as 777. Given that good news, you could see that this gap at about 6 pesos is your new support, such that anyone who is zero home will now look at home as a growth company, and will so this is as you could see, the volume is really strong after earnings. So I think that there are people that are happy with the earnings. They were pleasantly surprised. This is actually a pleasant surprise. Take note that All Home, prior to the earnings report, was trading at 15 times earnings, with its closest competitor, Wilcon, actually reporting a bad income. And Wilcon is trading at about 30 times earnings per share, which made sense that people were buying up All Home in response to this very good earnings report for All Home. So All Home is somehow doing what Pure Gold before was growing. Recall that 2011, Pure Gold started with just about 25 stores. It went up to about 50 stores, then 100 stores. Now Pure Gold is trading with 400 stores. So All Home is considered a growth company, and growth stocks are usually rewarded by the market. So I would say that this week, take a look, week to date, 30% increase. People would consider jumping into All Home, even if there is profit taking within the next few days after that massive move today. But that is to be considered as a COVID-proof company. Another news, so GTCAP, let's go to GTCAP. GTCAP was rising these past few days in cognizance with the market rally in your financials. So as a whole, financials have been rallying. You've seen Metro Bank as a laggard go up. But take note that all this rally for GTCAP continues to be just a resumption of the reopening theme. So by looking at the chart of GTCAP, this made just more of a performance catch up, given that your JG Summit, your SM, and your Ayala Corp has really rallied very, very strong. So this is more like just a sympathy play, as you could see. You've got this resistance at 517, 2 day strong move for GTCAP. There is a strong volume, but be careful as we might be reaching some resistances soon. Nevertheless, GTCAP used to trade at 700 pesos. So there are people who are trying to bargain hunt this name, given a faster than expected recovery on the reopening. Which companies have been beneficiaries of this faster than expected reopening? As we said, casinos are something that people believe will resume their rally because casinos all over the world are showing resilience. We're seeing all the casinos worldwide, from Nevada to Las Vegas, and all the legalization of sports betting really helping casino stocks worldwide. So it looks like there is that V-shaped recovery being played out for your casino names. Now, take note that Bloomberry traded at 9 pesos. This recovery so far is 618. So 724 is a 61% recovery of the losses. We haven't trimmed the losses back to 100%, but this is already a substantial rally. You've got higher lows. You've got people willing to bet that casinos is a faster than expected recovery, more than people's expectations. And so there should be people buying at 6 pesos in the next few days, should this 724 or 8 pesos become a temporary resistance. So it's going to take some time, of course, for casinos to recover. But the market is trying to assume that the next 12 months for the casinos will become better, as PAGCOR is really trying to encourage the interagency task force to reopen your casinos. So far, with Bloom's strength, we are seeing that City of Dreams, which is PLC, is also moving up with volume right now. This is a higher low. This has not rallied yet. Take note that during February, this was trading at 50 centavos. So this is still considerably 25 or around 30% discount from that time. So this rally for the week is considered more like a first move. That 20% move is a considerable bullish move, and any drops within this 31 cents zone will now be considered by some people who don't have a casino to be a play, whether they play Bloomberry or Soler or City of Dreams. You could see that the market is bullish. Of course, this week SunTrust is sharing that they issued a convertible note. Take note that Sun City, a Macau company, is trying to play to be in hopes of entering this name. So there's news. Let's read the news para mas safe. I'm not familiar with the news set. Basta alam ko may Sun City na convertible. In the Philippines. Okay, news. Convertible securities. I think it was 1 peso. Tama ba? Okay, Sun City Group to substantially increase stake in the Philippine Sun Trust ahead of the Manila Casino Hotel development. So let's read this. Hong Kong listed Sun City Group signed an agreement with SunTrust Home, which will increase its Sun City stake from 51 to 75%. The condition was signed last October to infuse 7 billion peso in cash. Bonds will be converted into SunTrust shares for the development of a hotel and casino at Resorts World in Manila's Bay Area Entertainment City. So if that is so this is considered like a casino name. Let's go to the chart of Sun City. So let's go to a bigger chart for Sun City. As you know, since the news in October 2019, SunTrust is essentially becoming a casino, no? So that move went from 90 cents all the way to 250. With the COVID drop, it fell to about 90 cents again, back to the retest point. If this is a casino, then you should assume that there will be people who are trying to buy the new play. So it's more like a casino play. So from 160 to 90 cents, we're seeing that this is more like you should see this more as a recovery play. So a reopening of casino play. So far we could see that it's trading at that resistance 132. You've got resistance at 144. You've got resistance at 1.6. But I would assume that anyone will buy what 116. Any drops will be bought by some people who'd like to play the casino theme. So we have 3 casinos in the Philippines. There's still, I'm not sure if, I think like because Resorts World was already taken out, they made an offering at 550. So you cannot trade Resorts World anymore. The way to trade Resorts World would be to trade the Sun City because that is their partner now. So this is sort of your Resorts World Bay Area play. So any drop at 1.2, 116 will be bought out. Now, with the reopening theme, we are seeing, of course, your laggards go up. We're seeing that day by day, SSI has been rising. You've seen it rally from 1 peso to 126. It used to trade, of course, around March as high as 178. So we're seeing that there is a laggard catch-up play here. Just like casinos rallying, some people believe that as the malls reopen, brick-and-mortar retailers can try to recover some of their revenues that they've lost in that past few months that it was closed. So far, we're seeing 110 to 144 as your range, but it's not impossible to see that people are playing a recovery theme here. So just draw your higher low lines and these are your laggards, and I think that the market is not always wanting to buy the good earnings companies because these are already priced in, their bad news is already priced in, and they can have those surprising earnings if they can do what All Home did, which is better than expected income, better than expected earnings, even during COVID. So we'll see if they have earnings even in an e-commerce season. Why are we confident that e-commerce for retailers is positive? This is because we've seen that Nike abroad really rallied from 57 to 105. This is a 100% move. Lululemon went up more than 100% from 120 to 317. So you could say that the direct-to-consumer market for apparel and retailer has been so the e-commerce front style for some sports retailers were able to recover sales. I'm not saying that SSI would have good earnings, but we are seeing that whether good or bad earnings, it is priced in within that stock zone. So it's more of people playing the recovery theme rather than seeing earnings actually going up. Now, this is the reason why we are seeing that Jollibee, even after that bad news on that 2 billion peso loss, given that we are seeing a GCQ, we are seeing this higher low. Higher low means that there are people willing to bet on a potential resumption, which makes it a channel up. So these are channel ups. Of course, there's resistance here at your 160, 180 zone that is still not gonna go away. You've seen that 140 to 150 still a resistance for Jollibee, but you could see that any drops within this 122 peso zone will have higher low buys. That said, that would be the same for your pizza and Maxes. This week, pizza also rose strongly from 550 to 680. And so that is a play on your recovery theme. Maxes also trying to recover weaker, but there will still be that recovery players, sorry, buying your weaker companies. Let's take a look at the best weekly moves for the week. Just this week from June 1 to June 5, take a look at your analytics. For your PSEI, you've got 40% move. Sorry, this is 1 month. Let's go to the percent to date, week to date change. JG Summit, Security Bank, GTCAP. JG Summit went 28% up. Security Bank went 25% up. GT Capital 24% up. Robinson's Land 23% up. So in the Gokongwei segment, JGS has been a beneficiary definitely of the resumption of Cebu Pacific. Philippine Airlines and Cebu Pacific are resuming flights June 5, and we can see that definitely these airline moves have been beneficial for its conglomerate. Not just good for Cebu Pacific, not just good for Macro Asia, but really good as well for JG Summit, which is an owner of Cebu Pacific. Take note that Cebu Pacific went from 32 to 45, substantial move. Take note that Macro Asia went up from 350 to 595, almost a 100% move in a single week. Therefore, GG Summit, benefiting from that move, went from about 48 to 64. Now, we're not saying that the airlines will have a full recovery, but so far, the market is giving the benefit of the doubt. Take a look that Delta Airlines, one of the largest airlines in the US, actually made a very strong performance, breaking out of that 28 zone. So that 28 zone, this move to 32, is telling you that the market wants to pay up for the benefit of the doubt, that the reopening will become faster than expected, not just for the Philippines, but all over the world. It's true for all airlines, United Airlines, American Airlines, very strong move also because of short covering. Jets, which is an ETF of all these airlines, went super strong this week. So it's not a question why your Macro Asia, your Cebu Pacific, and JGS really benefited on this airline theme. Now, from a casino play, yes, we've seen that move. Security Bank went up as financials tried to recover. When you're looking at financials, XLF is US, very strong performance. So you're seeing that people are picking up your financials, which is why your Philippine laggards, which is Metro Bank, went up strongly this week. So this week, 33 to 42. Since this is a laggard, we could say that some people would like to buy this up even as it can, even on dips at 40. Why can we say that this is not toppish? Because it used to trade as high as 51 before. So it's not impossible to see this go to 47 in the next few weeks if the market wants to play that reopening theme by the laggard theme, by the financials which were weak. So this is a laggard play. In light of Metro Bank going up, GTCAP, which is the owner of Metro Bank, has really provided that big boost. This is not a question because GTCAP has been lagging behind. So you could say that the theme for the week is the losers will shine. How sure are we that the losers are shining? If you aren't aware, Luckin Coffee is a scandalous company in the USA because of their fraud. Essentially, it is like the China Enron scandal. In the last few days, in just 3 days, this Enron scandal of China by fooling people on their sales went somewhere from about 2 to as high as 5. That is 100% move in 3 days. That's brought about by short covering. Short covering, the meaning is that some people who are shorting these stocks are forced to buy it up. So that's the reason why bad stocks that were perceived like casinos and airlines and banks, which were shorted all the way, have really gone boom, boom, boom up. So I think like you have to understand that people were very bearish that people will not travel, people will not use airports, people will not do transportation. So who's gonna buy cars? People are bearish in banks because they thought that there's a lot of non-provision loans, the uncertainty of credit card loans, the fact that East West has a huge chunk of their loans in the consumer front and rallying. First, the rally was coming from the MSCI, but also the rally was coming from the banks itself. From the sector itself, your financials index in the Philippines has really gone up. Take a note, 1,060, May 26 to 1,360. You could say that the Philippine strength is really brought about by your banks. Your banks, which were the poorest performers, have rallied 28% this week. Not just for the big banks like BDO, not just, okay, so take a look at the big banks. BDO finally catches up, 114. So we were saying actually that when the market was hitting resistance, that BDO Metro Bank can still rally because they were conveniently a laggard. They were still not catching up because BDO was trading at 130. So this is just a validation that the laggards will continue to go up. BDO rallied, BPI, of course, the leading ship in the financials is hitting near resistance zone here at about 78.80. Very little move already for BPI. Metrobank has more leeway because Metrobank is still lagging behind. You got that 51 resistance for your Metrobank. Okay, so PNB is also seeing. So as we said, financials are moving up, even the small banks. So this was your double bottom, hasn't broken that 25 zone, and you've got this 28 area, which is considered your target. I'm not saying that the banks have more leeway to go given their substantial outperformance this week, but it is a happy thing for the Filipinos and for the Philippines because PSEI, this rally from about 5.4 to 6.5 is actually one of the strongest performances in an entire 6-day streak. So this is a 16% move. Your PSEI was carried by your banks. But it's not just banks, no? Properties, let's take a look at your properties. Properties rallied as the reopening has begun this June, right? So this move of properties went somewhere from 2.8 to 3.2. Of course, when you're talking about properties, the synonym of properties is Ayala Land. And Ayala Land is your top 5 in the index. Ayala Land carried us from about 30 to 38. Substantial move, but we are nearing resistance. So if you still like Ayala Land, I would still be careful because your upside is limited. Maybe even if it can go up, maybe 40. If you really, really like Ayala Land, try to wait if you have an entry somewhere at 34 to 35. But this is a great move for the Ayala Land that properties are trying to recover. Ayala Land, SM Prime, you could see that Ali is stronger than SM Prime. Your Robinson's Land went up. Even your small companies, Philinvest broke above 97 cents. Mega World, of course, broke above this prior high of 3 pesos. Take note, though, that properties and banks, after this substantial move in the index, could be nearing resistance. So I'm not saying that after a 16% move that we will fall, but you have to be cautious for those who are still buying these properties and financials because the risk is kind of high versus the reward. I would say that the Filipinos most actively traded is still the better zone. People are buying up home. I think that it will give you that upside because even after that 20% move, at least you are buying a company that went great earnings, diba? So it's more of a growth company. And so any dips here at about 650 would still be bought out. So from a trading standpoint, you might want to play more of the recovery theme. So home, sun, take a look more on yung mga Bloom, mga PLC. So those are they're non-index. So they will not be judged in the index. Even if your index drops, they're not index companies. So they're more of a sector play. So sector-wise, you have to thank the world that the airlines, the casinos are really resuming, and that resumption of operation is being paid by the market as a recovery on hope. Okay, so that's for your June 5 update. I'd like to invite you that every Friday we have a free class, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. We're on Facebook live stream. Just search Awesome 10X. You can search for our Facebook group, Awesome 10X. And you can also just subscribe to this channel where we record all of our videos. Thank you as well. Goodbye.